The white envelope sat on my kitchen table for 3 days before I could bring myself to open it. Not because I didn't know what was inside. I knew exactly what it was. My daughter Jennifer's wedding invitation. The same wedding I had just finished paying the final installment for, $47,000. Every penny of my retirement savings, plus a $15,000 loan from the credit union at 9% interest. What I didn't know was that my name wouldn't appear anywhere on that invitation. I'm Robert Mitchell. I'm 62 years old. I've been a widower for 11 years. And that morning, sitting alone in my small kitchen in Columbus, Ohio, I realized I had spent 3 decades raising a daughter who had just erased me from the most important day of her life. Let me take you back to where this really started. Not 3 days ago, not even 3 months ago when Jennifer got engaged. This started 30 years ago in 1995 when my wife Sarah died from breast cancer. Jennifer was only 3 years old. I was 32. We had exactly $14,000 in savings and a mortgage we'd just started paying. I worked as a claims adjuster for Nationwide Insurance. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was steady. $52,000 a year. In 1995, that was enough for a modest life. But not enough to raise a daughter alone, pay for daycare, and save for her future. So, I did what I had to do. I picked up a second job. Friday and Saturday nights, I worked security at a shopping mall, 8 hours on my feet after 40 hours at a desk. Another $12,000 a year. It wasn't much, but it meant Jennifer could stay in her preschool. It meant I could keep the house Sarah and I had bought together. I never remarried. There were a few dates here and there over the years, but nothing serious. How could I date seriously? Between 2 jobs and raising a daughter, I barely had time to sleep. Jennifer was my priority. Everything I did was for her. When Jennifer turned 16, she wanted a car. Not just any car, a Honda Civic. Her friends at Upper Arlington High School were getting BMWs and Mercedes for their birthdays. I couldn't afford that. But I saved for 2 years and bought her a used 2008 Civic for $11,000. I'll never forget her face when I gave her the keys. She hugged me and said, "Thanks, Dad. I know you worked really hard for this." That moment made every extra shift worth it. College came next. Jennifer wanted Ohio State, which was local, thank God. But even with in-state tuition, we were looking at $25,000 a year for everything. Room, board, books, fees. I had saved $30,000 over the years. It covered just over 1 year. So I took out Parent Plus loans. $75,000 total by the time she graduated in 2018. At 7% interest, that's $525 a month. Every month. For the next 20 years. But Jennifer graduated debt-free. That was what mattered. She got a job at a marketing firm in downtown Columbus, $48,000 a year starting salary. She moved into an apartment in the short north with 2 roommates. She was independent, successful, happy. I was proud. In 2019, I retired from Nationwide after 37 years. My pension wasn't huge. $3,200 a month plus Social Security starting at 62. About $48,000 a year total. After taxes, mortgage, and that student loan payment, I had maybe $1,500 a month for everything else. I sold the house. The house Sarah and I bought, the house where Jennifer grew up. It hurt, but it made sense. I was alone. I didn't need 4 bedrooms. I moved into a small 2-bedroom apartment. Cheaper to maintain. No yard work. The sale gave me $85,000 after paying off the mortgage. I put $60,000 in a retirement account. The other $25,000 I kept liquid for emergencies, or for Jennifer if she ever needed it. She needed it sooner than I expected. In December 2023, Jennifer called me. She was crying, happy crying. "Dad, Michael proposed." Michael was her boyfriend of 2 years, a lawyer at a firm downtown. I'd met him a handful of times. Polite kid. Little arrogant maybe, but successful. He made good money. "That's wonderful, sweetheart," I said. "I'm so happy for you." "We want to get married in June," she said. June 14th, 2024. It's a Saturday. "Dad, it's going to be perfect. Have you started looking at venues?" I asked. There was a pause. "Well, Michael's parents found this amazing place. The Brookside Country Club in Worthington. It's where his parents got married. It's beautiful, Dad, but it's expensive. How expensive? The venue alone is $28,000. That includes food and open bar for 200 guests. But then there's the photographer, the flowers, the dress, the DJ, everything else. We're looking at around $60,000 total. My heart sank. $60,000. I had $25,000 in savings. Michael's parents are contributing $35,000, Jennifer continued. They're so generous, Dad, but we're still short. Michael and I have saved $12,000, but that's not enough. I know it's a lot to ask, but could you help? What was I supposed to say? This was my daughter, my only child, the person I had worked 2 jobs for, the person I took out $75,000 in loans for, loans I was still paying. How much do you need? I asked. Just $13,000, she said. I know it's a lot, but Dad, this is my wedding. It's the most important day of my life. $13,000. I had $25,000 in savings. If I gave her 13, I'd have 12 left. 12,000 for emergencies, medical bills, car repairs, everything. But this was Jennifer. Okay, I said. I'll help. Really? Oh my God, Dad, thank you. You're the best. That night, I transferred $13,000 to Jennifer's account. It left me with $12,000 in savings and a monthly budget that allowed for exactly 0 surprises. But it was fine. This was what fathers did. You sacrifice. You give. You make your children's dreams possible. The wedding planning consumed the next 6 months. Jennifer called me occasionally to update me. The dress was $4,000. The photographer was $3,500. The flowers were $3,000. Everything was expensive, but everything was perfect. In March, Jennifer called again. Dad, we have a problem. My stomach dropped. What kind of problem? The venue increased their price. They said because of inflation, they need an extra $4,000. We don't have it. Michael's parents already gave their share. Michael and I are tapped out. Dad, I don't know what to do. We've already sent the invitations. We can't cancel now. $4,000. I had $12,000 in savings. If I gave her 4, I'd have 8 left. Dad, are you there? I'm here, I said. I'm just thinking. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important, but I can't cancel my wedding. Please, Dad. I closed my eyes. Okay, I'll send it. Thank you, Dad. I promise Michael and I will pay you back once we're settled. That was March. It's November now. I haven't seen a dollar. But I didn't push it. These things take time. They were busy with the wedding. I understood. Then came April. Jennifer called again, and this time she was crying. Not happy crying. Dad, Michael lost his job. Michael had been fired. Some issue with a client. He was looking for a new position, but these things took time. In the meantime, they couldn't afford their apartment. Rent was $1,800 a month. We're thinking of moving in with Michael's parents temporarily, Jennifer said, but Dad, that would be so embarrassing. Michael's 32 years old. We can't live with his parents right before our wedding. What are you asking, Jennifer? Could you help with rent? Just for 3 months. Just until Michael finds something. It would be $5,400 total. I know it's a lot, but, Jennifer, I've already given you $17,000. I know, Dad, and I'm so grateful. But this is an emergency. We're going to be homeless. You wouldn't be homeless. You'd be staying with Michael's parents. Dad, please. I had $8,000 in savings. If I gave her $5,400, I'd have $2,600 left. $2,600 between me and financial disaster. But she was crying. I sent the money. 3 months later, in June, Michael got a new job. Junior partner at a different firm. Back to making good money. I waited for Jennifer to mention paying me back. She didn't. The wedding was June 14th, 2024. I arrived at Brookside Country Club at 4 in the afternoon. The ceremony was at 5. The place was stunning. Manicured lawns, a lake, white chairs set up in perfect rows. You could see where the money went. I was wearing a new suit. I'd bought it at Macy's for $300. It was the first new suit I'd owned in probably 15 years. I wanted to look good for my daughter's wedding. I found my seat in the 4th row, not the front row. The front row was reserved for Michael's parents, Thomas and Patricia Cartwright. They were sitting in the center, beaming, greeting people. Thomas was wearing what looked like a custom Tom Ford suit. Patricia had on a dress that probably cost more than my car. I didn't mind sitting in the fourth row. I understood. The bride's side and groom's side thing was traditional. What bothered me was that nobody seemed to know who I was. Several people asked me, "Are you with the bride or the groom?" "I'm Jennifer's father," I said. "Oh, we didn't realize. Where's your wife?" "She passed away 11 years ago." "Oh, I'm so sorry." This happened 4 times before the ceremony even started. The ceremony itself was beautiful. Jennifer looked stunning in her dress, the $4,000 dress. She walked down the aisle on Michael's uncle's arm. His uncle, not me. Jennifer had told me weeks earlier, "Dad, I know tradition is for the father to walk the bride down the aisle, but Uncle Greg has been like a father to Michael his whole life, and it would mean so much to Michael's family if he did it." I said, "Okay." What else could I say? I watched my daughter get married. I cried. But nobody noticed. Everyone was looking at Jennifer and Michael, at Thomas and Patricia in the front row, at Uncle Greg wiping away proud tears. Nobody looked at me in the fourth row. The reception was inside the country club. 200 people, 6-course dinner, open bar, a DJ who must have cost thousands. Everything was perfect. The speeches started after dinner. The best man went first, Michael's brother. He talked about growing up with Michael, about what a great guy he was, about how lucky Jennifer was. Then the maid of honor, Jennifer's best friend from college. She talked about Jennifer, about their friendship, about what a beautiful couple Jennifer and Michael were. Then Thomas Cartwright stood up. "I want to thank everyone for coming tonight to celebrate these 2 wonderful people," Thomas said. He had a deep, commanding voice. The kind of voice that made people pay attention. Patricia and I couldn't be prouder. Michael is our son, our only child. And tonight, we're gaining a daughter. "Jennifer, welcome to the Cartwright family." People applauded. Jennifer was crying happy tears. Thomas continued. "When Michael told us he wanted to marry Jennifer, we knew we had to do everything possible to make this day perfect. This venue holds special meaning for us. Patricia and I were married here 34 years ago. To see our son married here, to be able to give him this gift, is beyond words. Give him this gift." Thomas made it sound like he paid for everything. He didn't mention the $13,000 I gave in January. He didn't mention the $4,000 I gave in March. He didn't mention the $5,400 I gave for rent. Nobody knew. Michael stood up next. "I want to thank my parents for everything they've done. Dad, Mom, you've given us the wedding of our dreams. This venue, this incredible party, everything. We could never thank you enough." Jennifer nodded, wiping tears. Michael continued. "I also want to thank my beautiful bride. Jennifer, you make me the luckiest man alive. And I want to thank everyone who helped make this day possible." He sat down. That was it. No mention of me. No mention of Jennifer's father, who had contributed nearly half the cost of the wedding. I sat at table 18, not at the head table with Jennifer and Michael, not even at table 1, where Thomas and Patricia sat with their extended family. Table 18, near the back, with some of Michael's distant cousins I'd never met. I ate my dinner in silence. The steak was excellent, probably $40 a plate. Around 9 o'clock, Jennifer came by my table. "Dad, are you having fun?" "It's a beautiful wedding, sweetheart. Isn't it?" Michael's parents really outdid themselves. Michael's parents. I felt something crack inside my chest. Something that had been bending for years finally snapped. "Jennifer," I said, "can we talk privately for a moment?" "Dad, I'm kind of busy. Can it wait?" "It's important." She sighed. "Okay, let's go outside." We walked out to the patio overlooking the lake. The sun was setting. It was beautiful, romantic. Everything a wedding should be. "What's wrong?" Jennifer asked. "I need to ask you something. Do you know how much I contributed to this wedding?" She hesitated. "You gave me some money, yeah. $22,400. $13,000 initially. $4,000 in March. $5,400 for your rent. Dad, I told you we'd pay you back. That's not what this is about. Jennifer, You've thanked Michael's parents 4 times tonight. You thanked the DJ. You thanked the florist. You thanked the photographer. You haven't thanked me once. Dad, you're my father. You're supposed to help me. That's what parents do. That's what parents do. Her words hit me like a physical blow. Your husband just gave a speech thanking his parents for paying for this wedding. But Jennifer, they paid $35,000. I paid $22,400, nearly the same amount. Where was my thank you? I didn't think you needed public recognition, she said. Her tone was defensive now. You're my dad. You know I'm grateful. Do you know what I gave up for you, Jennifer? Do you have any idea? Dad, don't do this. Not tonight. I worked 2 jobs for 18 years so you could have a good life. I took out $75,000 in loans so you could graduate college debt-free. Loans I'm still paying, $525 a month. Every month. I sold the house your mother and I bought so I could help you if you needed it. And you needed it. You needed $22,000 and I gave it to you even though it was almost all I had left. Jennifer's eyes were cold. I didn't force you to do any of that. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying I did it because I love you. Because you're my daughter. And tonight, I sat in the 4th row at your wedding. Not the front row. The 4th row. I watched you walk down the aisle with Michael's uncle instead of me. I sat at table 18. Not even at your parents' table, because apparently there wasn't room. And I listened to you thank Michael's parents for giving you the wedding of your dreams when I gave nearly as much as they did. Dad, you're embarrassing me. People can hear us. I'm embarrassing you? Jennifer, I'm invisible. I've been invisible all night. I'm the father of the bride, and nobody even knows who I am. That's not my fault. Maybe if you'd been more social, more involved. More involved? Jennifer, I've been involved your entire life. I've been there for everything. Every recital, every graduation, every birthday. I was there when your mother died. I was there when you needed money. I'm always there. But tonight, the one night you could have acknowledged that, you didn't. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, What do you want from me, Dad? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry I didn't thank you in front of everyone. Is that what you want to hear? I want you to mean it. I do mean it. But you're ruining my wedding right now. I looked at my daughter. This young woman I had sacrificed everything for. This stranger who thought love was measured in what you were supposed to do, not in what it cost. Go back to your wedding, Jennifer, I said. Enjoy your night. Are you going to stay? No. I'm going to go home. Dad, don't leave angry. Please. I'm not angry, I said. And it was true. I wasn't angry. I was something far worse. I was empty. I'm just tired. I drove home that night in silence. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just drove. When I got home, I sat at my kitchen table and did something I should have done years ago. I opened my laptop and looked at my finances. Retirement savings. $12,000 left, down from $85,000. Student loan balance. $63,000 still owed. 12 years of payments remaining. Monthly income. $4,000 after taxes. Monthly expenses. $2,800, including the student loan payment. Emergency fund. $2,600. I had given Jennifer $22,400 in 6 months. She and Michael together earned approximately $140,000 a year. They could have afforded to pay for their own wedding. They could have afforded a smaller wedding. They chose not to because they knew I would help. And they were right. I did help. I always helped. The next morning I called my lawyer, a guy I'd known for years, Bill Henderson. We'd worked together on claims cases. Bill, I need to update my will. Sure thing, Robert. What changes are we making? Currently, everything goes to Jennifer. I want to change that. To whom? The Columbus Literacy Council. There was a pause. Robert, are you sure about this? That's your daughter. I'm sure. Can I ask why? I told him about the wedding, about the $22,000, about sitting in the 4th row, about being invisible. Bill was quiet for a moment. Then he said, I understand. Let me draw up the paperwork. We met the following week. I signed the new will. Everything I had would go to the Columbus Literacy Council, a charity my wife Sarah had volunteered with before she died. If Jennifer wanted money, she could earn it herself. But the will wasn't the only change I made. In July, 2 weeks after the wedding, Jennifer called. "Dad, great news. Michael and I found a house. It's in Upper Arlington. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's perfect for starting a family." "That's wonderful, Jennifer. The thing is, we need help with the down payment. We have $40,000 saved, but the house is $550,000. We need 20% down, which is $110,000. So we're short $70,000. Michael's parents are giving us $30,000. We were hoping you could give us the other $40,000. I had $12,000 in savings." "Jennifer, I don't have $40,000. But you sold the house. Where did all that money go?" "I gave you $22,000 of it." "Dad, that was for my wedding. This is different. This is an investment. We'll pay you back." "Jennifer, even if I gave you every penny I have, it wouldn't be enough." "Then take out a home equity loan. You own your apartment, right?" "I rent my apartment." "I sold my house, remember?" There was a long silence. "So you're saying you won't help us?" "I'm saying I can't help you." "You mean you won't?" "Dad, this is my future. This is where I'm going to raise your grandchildren." "Jennifer, I've already given you everything I can afford to give. You need to figure this out on your own." "Wow. Okay. I guess I know where I stand with you. You've known where you stand with me your entire life. You just didn't care until I couldn't give you anything else." She hung up. She didn't call back. 2 months passed. In September, I got a letter in the mail. An invitation. "Please join us for our housewarming party." They'd bought the house. Without my help. Apparently, Michael's parents had given them the full $70,000. I didn't go to the housewarming party. In October, Jennifer called. "Dad, I'm pregnant." My heart should have leapt. I was going to be a grandfather. But all I felt was a dull ache. "Congratulations," I said. "We're so excited. The baby's due in May." "Dad, we were hoping you'd help with childcare. Michael and I both work full-time, and daycare is so expensive, like $2,000 a month. We thought maybe you could watch the baby a few days a week. You're retired. You have time. Watch her baby for free. After everything." "Jennifer, I can't do that." "Why not?" "Because I'm not your free babysitter. If you need childcare, you'll need to pay for it like everyone else." "Dad, you're being cruel. This is your grandchild, and you're my daughter." "But that hasn't seemed to matter to you." "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I've spent 30 years giving you everything. My time, my money, my retirement, my health. And at your wedding, you couldn't even acknowledge I existed. So no, Jennifer, I won't be your free childcare." "Fine. I'll ask Michael's parents. At least they actually care about me." "I'm sure they will. They have the money for it." She hung up again. It's November now. 5 months since the wedding. I haven't spoken to Jennifer since October. She hasn't called. I haven't either. I think about her sometimes. I think about the little girl who hugged me when I gave her that used Honda Civic. The girl who said, "Thanks, Dad. I know you worked really hard for this." I wonder when that girl disappeared. Or maybe she never really existed. Maybe I just saw what I wanted to see. Last week, I got a call from Bill Henderson. "Robert, I have some news. A distant cousin of yours in Michigan passed away. Apparently you were named in his will." "What? I barely knew him." "Well, he left you $50,000. $50,000. The irony wasn't lost on me. A relative I barely knew left me more in death than my daughter had ever acknowledged in life." "What should I do with it?" I asked. "That's up to you." I thought about it for a long time. Jennifer would hear about this eventually. She would call. She would apologize. She would say she'd been stressed, that she hadn't meant to hurt me, that she loved me, and she would ask for money. "Put it in a trust," I said, "for Jennifer's child. The baby due in May." "A trust? With what conditions?" "The child can access it at 25 years old, but only if they've earned a college degree on their own. No parent contributions, no loans, their own scholarships, their own work. If they can do that, they get the $50,000. If not, it goes to charity." "That's very specific, Robert." I don't want that child to turn out like their mother, I said. I want them to learn that nothing worth having comes free. That sacrifice has value. That the people who love you deserve gratitude, not just demands. The trust was set up last week. Jennifer doesn't know about it yet. She'll find out eventually, probably when she asks me for money for baby expenses and I tell her I don't have any. And she'll be furious. She'll call me selfish. She'll say I'm punishing her child for her mistakes. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm teaching. I'm teaching my grandchild something I failed to teach Jennifer. That love isn't an ATM, that gratitude matters. That the people who sacrifice for you deserve to be seen. I sit in my small apartment now, alone. My retirement savings depleted. My student loans still unpaid. No contact with my only daughter. Some people would say I failed as a father. That I gave too much, or not enough. That I'm bitter, angry, unforgiving. Maybe they're right. I don't know anymore. What I do know is this. On June 14th, 2024, I sat in the 4th row at my daughter's wedding. I watched her thank everyone except me for the best day of her life. And I realized that sometimes the people who take you for granted will only notice you when you're gone. So I chose to be gone. Not physically. I'm still here, still in Columbus, still paying off those student loans. But I'm gone from Jennifer's list of people she can rely on. Gone from her emergency contact. Gone from her financial backup plan. And for the first time in 30 years, I'm okay with that. Because I finally learned what my daughter never did. You can't buy love. You can't sacrifice your way into someone's gratitude. And you can't make someone see your value if they're determined not to look. All you can do is stop standing in the 4th row, waiting to be noticed. Sometimes, the bravest thing a father can do is walk away.